Let's take a look at our next drill in our progression of our salute drill series. So here we're going to now take away the volo blades. So the emphasis is going to really be here that our athlete's going to be able to get the fingertips down. So that way they can really feel the pressure of the water here on the hand right there, especially as we're going into the drill. Here we're going to still keep on the snorkel and also the fins. These will just kind of be a progression to let go of the pieces of equipment and allow the athlete to really kind of concentrate only on one thing at a time rather than big changes. We find that that makes it a little bit easier for the athletes to be able to really feel what we're looking for them to do. So let's go over those key things. So first thing here we look for is the kick. One of the first things that we look for is the kick to be at the surface. We really want to see that there is bubbles or white water, boiling water coming off of the fins here. So at times we see that this kick can be a little subtle when you're doing the drill. You can also give it a little bit more emphasis, so that'll kind of be up to your choice. Here we look for pointed feet, and we have that just because the fins have to be, when kicking, the feet are pointed. And we also look for that bend, natural bend in the knee. We don't want anything too excessive, especially coming out of the water, because then we're going to be kicking air. We don't want anything too deep under the water or too deep under the body where you might kind of look something like this with the legs, because that will mean then it'll be very difficult to get the feet then to be up. So just allow for a natural bend and keep those toes long. And then on that down kick, when those feet are going down, think like you're kicking a ball. That means then we're going to be kicking here from the hip. Here are our swimmers in a pop position, so we have some great rotation right there. It means the opposite side then is going to be down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to swing that arm around. And remember, we'd like that arm to be a little bit wider. We'll see that a little bit more on our return view. And then we're going to hold that position right kind of about here at the shoulder, between the shoulder and the head. And then as that arm reaches here, then the emphasis is going to be on that hand to get those fingertips down. We find that this is really the sweet spot for us in terms kind of connection point. So we go boom, and we should feel that right good transfer of power. We also see here that our athlete does a really nice job of coming in on top of the shoulder line. So we have that nice position 11 entry or Superman entry point. So that's really good right there. Here then, as we set up for the other side, we've rotated through. Here the hips and shoulders are down, and then we just repeat on the other side. So again, here you can kind of see that width of the arm right there. We hold, and then again, remember at about this point, that's where we salute. Then on this side, we want to really get those fingertips to get down. Boom. When we feel this nice transfer right here to really push that water nice and back. We just kind of keep repeating this cycle over and over again. So we find that, again, this really helps athletes really feel strong and connected as they are moving through the water. Underwater here, we just have a view for the kick. So just as a reminder, again, we want those toes nice and pointed here as we're traveling through the water. And we also want to have that strong down kick. So you kind of see that right there, how we're having that nice forceful kick movement going down. It's okay to go under the body. We just don't want to go excessively deep under the body, because then it'll be equally as tough to bring the feet back up to the surface. And then we want to see a lot of turbulence here with the legs, which we got. So we're going to continue here now, moving to our return view right here. Here's just another perspective of the drill. So see here how that arm here is nice and wide. And then we have that entry. Now here, a little bit crossed over. Kind of see that right there? Now, just again, remember, we have to make sure we're giving feedback to our athletes. So the yellow line here represents our shoulder line. We kind of want to make sure that we're going to be a little bit more there that minimizes any sort of sweepage that occurs under the water. We'll show you when we get to that in a little bit what that means. So here, again, nice wide recovery. Love this right here. Entry, then much better here. So you kind there how you're on top of the shoulder. That's really, really good. So just remember, when we're holding this position right here, the fingertips here should be getting down on the catch hand. And then boom, we want to have that smooth rotation and transfer of power. Great rotation right there. That means the opposite side is down. Here we're also seeing a nice kick. And then on the entry here, we're rotating through. Really great job right there. And then we're going to transition here momentarily to going underwater to kind of take a look what is also happening. So under the water, here fingertips are getting down. And just again, remember, it's all about having that power triangle. So here we are having that. If we can draw our triangle a little bit better, there we go. Now here we might like to see that hand be up a little bit closer, up a little bit higher toward the body, but this is overall good positioning what we want to see. If we take a look here on the other side, now our athlete here has that tendency to kind of promote this outward sweep, and here we're a lot more sharp. Kind of see that right here. So what we want to see is the hand and arm be a lot closer to being to the body here. See that right there, how we have that big opportunity. So just remember, athletes are going to be able to perform these drills to various ability levels. So it's really important to make sure that we're giving them continual feedback so that they have opportunities to improve. So hopefully you found some great value out of this. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe.